Welcome everyone, today we'll have a very special gambling guide for Diablo 4. Looking behind me, you can see I have a lot of legendaries, and in this video I've actually been working on this particular documentation with Excel with all the rates of gambling for the past few hours. Now a lot of viewers were saying that they have difficulty of finding a specific legendary for their aspects to craft for their build. And what I wanted to do is I want to give you guys the best method of finding those legendaries and what items should you gamble, what are your rates. So I actually spent hours doing this. And the reason I want to do this quickly is we still have 1 day of beta left. If you want to try any build, make sure you try this method. And in this video, I'll show you guys the rates and also combinations of the best ways of getting any legendaries aspects, whether it's offense, defense, or whether it's a combination of both. And I have categorized those for each of the classes. So if you're playing a druid, if you're playing barbarian, make sure you see the rates for yourself for your class. And there's also some tips and also some notes as we go through the video. So quite excited to share this table with you guys, and I have been working for a long time on this just to make it work before the beta finishes. Now because this video will focus on gambling guide, we really want to know the gambling NPC, right? So the gambling NPC is located over here. You can see the cost of the items, and some of the items like two-handed weapons will cost more opals than other ones. And what I did over here is in the Excel, you're going to see a lot of data and table. I want to go through which of the things are useful to you, which of the things you can just skip. So here I listed all the price of the items. I have especially listed the weapon offhand, which is cheaper than one-hand and also two-hand weapons. Usually weapon will be higher, more costly. But of course guys, we won't be rolling for weapons, because as you see later on the rates, you definitely don't go for weapons. Now in case you guys are wondering, what do I mean by getting legendaries in 1 to 3 hours, here are some of our chances. And with our estimates, if you're going for offensive aspects, 9% chance every 500 opals, you will get what you wanted. But if you're going for utility or anything else, it's like 40% chance with 500 opals. And finally, before we dive into the Excel table and also the additional data, I really want to recommend some of the past videos like crafting after getting legendary codex, and also how to get codex fast off the previous gambling video, which talks about things in more detail, and also finally how to farm your opals. You want to farm opals this way because this particular video over here, I'm assuming that you guys know how to farm opals, and the previous video do cover about that, how to farm opals fast. So I have the links for those past videos, and make sure you try those guides to get lots of opals, because in this video I'm getting close to 1000 to 1500 opals if I'm lucky with the event farming. And this is essential because if you don't have the opals, you can't really do this method, right? So this is the highlight as well. Make sure you check those. Now I'll be sharing the Excel table with you guys, and you guys should be able to see it, and you can click down over here for the variation of the different class rates. I've actually taken the time to count all the legendary codex that is available in the game, and over here you can see some of those. So I counted all the skill trees and I counted those, and I think I double checked as well. What I'm assuming is it is average chance of any of the legendary codex to appear on the certain items, and as you guys know, different items will appear on different items, and as you guys know, different legendary codex aspects will appear on different items depending on the category. So here the first tip, I guess, to summarize for you guys is, if you're going for offense gears, it is best to roll for gloves. If you're going for defensive gears, it is best to roll for pants. If you're going for utility gears, it is best to roll for a chest piece. And similarly for mobility, it's boots, and also for resource, it is helmet. And now if you guys want to see the rates of it, come down to this particular table. So we're looking at those, the assumption over here. I'll go briefly through with you guys. So the assumption is with 500 opals, it is 1 in 5 chance currently in beta for the legendary drop rate. And what you want to use this table is, so if you have 500 opals, you're looking at a 9% chance of getting an offensive codex from the gloves with 500 opals. And you're looking at 40% chance of getting utility codex aspects from gambling what you wanted. And here it is 9% chance of getting the resource aspects from gambling the helmet. And finally, it is 28% chance of gambling for the defensive aspects by going for the pants. And those are the highlights of each of the categories. Notice I also calculate the rates of what if you go for weapon, what if you go for amulets, and what if you go for rings. Those are much lower rates. And in comparison, this is the first thing you want to do. You want to know what offensive or what category of codex you're looking for. Let's say if I'm for barbarian, I'm going for thorn build. And here my thorn build, I really want the thorn deal damage around me. So it is an offensive codex. Once I know it is offensive codex, come back to the Excel and go to barbarian. And make sure you make the variation. Once you come over to barbarian and I know it's offensive, I know I have a 12% chance of getting what I wanted with the aspects from the gloves by rolling for the gloves in the gambling shop with 500 opals. Now you might be wondering why the rates are 0.12. This is because this is adjusted. This is per opal. and we're adjusted for 500 opals. To make things easy, you just times everything by 100, and that should make it very easy. And just to give you guys another example, over here I have Necromancer, and I wanted my Necromancer to have a certain legendary aspects like the Blood Mist. So this is the top one for the Necromancer, right? Blood Mist triggers corpse explosion. And on top of that, I also wanted, let's say, Skellies. So I wanted more skeletons with my skeleton warriors. So if I'm going for the offensive codex, yes, I come over here to the Necromancer and I roll for gloves. 9% chance every 500 opals I will get what I wanted. And if I wanted my Skellies over here, where are my Skellies? My skeletons, additional skeletons with utility, I come to this table, I go to utility, and I know if I roll on the boots, I have 40% chance with 500 opals to get the legendary aspects I wanted over here by rolling. And this is by spending 500 opals in the gambling shop in the beta. Now the rates will change, guys. The notes here says, and also the developer says, the rates will change. It is likely it won't be 1 in 5, but those table rates will not change. And this is the best thing about the table, because it will become useful in the launch. Now, because there's a lot of data on the tables, I don't think you guys really have to look at this. This is just for my counting of the codex. This could be useful for this one because it shows you what categories of the aspects can go on to what type of gears. If it's offensive gears, it can go on to gloves, it can go on to weapons, amulets, and also rings. So this is a good tracker as well. And here are some of the preliminary probabilities, which are not that useful because they're not scaled for the cost of gambling. So better use the depth table down here, and I highlighted the best ones for you guys. Now on the second part, what I really want to show you guys is, now what if you wanted offensive and also utility codex of aspects? So let's say if my example over here is I'm going for my legendary aspects. Of course, if you're going for a build, you might not just go for one legendary aspects, you might go for multiple. So let's say if I'm running a minion build with my Necromancer. So this is the minion build with Necromancer, and I'm actually going for multiple summons of the minions, right? And this one over here. So here I've highlighted a few of my summons. So I wanted 2 of the legendary aspects from offensive category for my increased attack speed for my army of summons. And here I wanted 2 from the utility section. So the next part of the guide, I want to go one step further. What if you're hunting for multiple codexes or aspects? And what I want to do is, let's say if you're hunting for both utility and offense, and then this particular table will tell you by the chances the gloves is the best thing to roll for both utility and also offensive codex. So this is the example. I'm going for utility, I'm going for offensive ones. It is the best that I roll on my gloves, and this is the highlight of the table on top. I'll highlight this one for you guys as well. And basically what that means is if you're going for utility and offense, you go for the gloves. Sometimes you don't have defense on the gloves, this is when it's empty. So let's say if I'm going for utility and also defense aspects, both, I'm looking for both of those in the categories of my build. It is recommended to go for the chest. This is using the probabilities in here and also the additional probabilities, and also you want both categories of the aspects. And similarly for utility and also mobility, it is recommended to go with the boots. Of course, if you're going for the single targeted category of aspects, those highlighted ones will show you which one is the best one. And I do think this is by far the best way of saving opals, targeting what you wanted, and getting the best rates. Because let's say if you guys are rolling for weapons and rolling for gloves, there's a 2% difference. If you're rolling for boots for utility, it's 40% chance, while if you're rolling for chest, it's only 15% chance of getting what you wanted. So ideally, you're getting 3 times more value if you do this correctly. And this is why I want to do it for every class, and it took me a while, guys. I'm about to pass out. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hit the subscribe and a like. I really deserve this one for this video, I think, because my background, I do have some Excel knowledge and also mathematics. I want to give you guys more information, more guides on those parts of the Diablo games, because as we go deeper, you want to use every part of resource that counts. And beta is just a test run, right? When the game launches, we'll have more of those and make you guys, better at farming, get better rates, and more efficient with your time. Now before you go, and if you guys didn't know, we have a new YouTube channel. And if you guys haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe and check out the behind the scenes and also fun clips and also more stories about us. And then you get to know me a little more personally instead of just reading the news and also the games, right? So I want to share a little bit more with you guys. So make sure you check this channel out if you're interested about Matt and also Uni. She's really funny too, and she's really shy. So I want to give her a surprise and do a shout out for the new channel to get some subscribers. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys next time.